Hey, we've been gone so long. We stepping on each other, man.
You know,
Hey, man, it's good to see you, man. How you been?
As you can see, another surgery, man. The first one didn't work, but you know, life is good, man. You know, I could complain about a lot of things, but you know, still blessed. You know, I'm glad to be back with my homies. You know what I mean?
Hey, man,
you been there ever? Hey, all you guys, you know, when I was in the hospital, day of surgery, checking on me, I appreciate it.
You my guy, man. You my guy. You all right for a short stop.
Now, you take a coach, you know, that's won 2 national championships. You give him a big bag, right? You give him, what, $70 million? And I just want you, you know, we're just going to go short and sweet answers. Okay. And we're going to go back and forth.
Okay.
And you can, hey, Laker fan number 1 over here can jump into.
Big Laker fan.
Laker fan number 1, Josh, can jump into.
Just like the Cowboys.
But why didn't he take that job?
Didn't want to leave his family.
Okay. What's your opinion?
Yeah, I'd probably say that.
My analogy is a little bit different. My analogy is, you know, when you got 2 big racehorses and they don't like the hay, they need a different trainer. So until the racehorses like the trainer, and I mean, they can like him today, but he you know, the trainer wants to train the way he trains. You know what I'm saying? The trainer wants to train the way he trains. You take Ham. Ham took him to the finals, in-season tournament. Hey, but if the thing I admire about Popovich and the players that play for him, nobody was off limits. So when he came down on them, they responded, and that's why they won with as many as they won. You know what I mean? You're two. Hey, you're 2 big racehorses, man. They have to, if they don't give the trainer no respect.
They're following suit with the people that came before them. You know, Kobe did the same thing, but he showed up and won championships.
But you're forgetting, who was the trainer?
Those years were tough.
Come on, man.
Come on, hey, who was the trainer?
In between Shaq.
Okay. So when did they win the championships?
Yeah, they won early and then they won late.
Who was the trainer?
Who was the trainer?
I don't know.
No,
Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson.
Phil.
No, that's the second one.
They ain't won nothing without Phil. Nothing without Phil.
No, you're right.
Nothing.
See, so do you understand what I'm saying? You know, I'm a little bit of a historian, but I mean, you can talk about generals. You can talk about if your number 1 man after you in charge follows and the number 2 guy follow, you have a good chance to have success.
I thought you were talking about the recent ones, like 2020.
Huh?
Well, they won in 20.
Oh, COVID that.
But they didn't win with anyone.
So we count championships with nobody in the stands. I know, I get it.
No, you know they still got to
get it. You sound like a Dallas Cowboy fan.
He does sound like a Cowboy fan. He does sound like a goddamn man.
Somebody had to win.
Hey, you know, you want.
Right?
But
You can't tell me there's Sacramento one you wouldn't be, you know, loving that championship.
Well, hell, they want to win anything.
Hey, we ain't got nothing to compare it to.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
Championship's a championship these days. It goes in the book.
you know what? You're right. But you know, but like I said, you know, we had to get to the
We're
point.
talking about Phil Jackson. They haven't won, of course, but you know, neither did Chicago.
You got a point.
Yeah, but neither Chicago, but the difference is whether Phil was in Chicago, because Phil didn't win without Michael.
Exactly.
So
He needed superstars too.
You know, but listen to the superstar. He needed his 2 racehorses to like the hay. If the 2 racehorses like the hay, the rest of the stable's gonna like the hay.
Okay,
Did you see what I'm
See what
saying?
he's saying? Everybody gonna march.
So if I go back, you know, I'm sure his family had something to do with it. But hey, man, at some point, he ain't gonna miss his family because if they give me $80 million, my family can be everywhere I'm at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got a point.
So it's not like they have to stay there. But I'm not gonna. And you guys know I had a situation to go, you know, have a little coaching, but I can't. It wasn't right for me because I didn't, and it wasn't a manager or anything. It was, you know, to be on the coaching staff. But if I couldn't be myself, and I wasn't going to have the backing of that this is the way stuff was going to be, why do it?
Can we just go and be honest, man? Let's just be honest, y'all. They didn't. LeBron and AD did not want this guy. They already picked their coach. You know what their coach is going to be? J.J. Redick. Okay, so all this smoke screen, I'm going to give you $70 million knowing I'm supposed to give you 80. That's a smoke screen, man. You can be mad at me if you want to, man. I've been in this professional sports a long time, and I see a smoke screen.
No,
and that was a big smoke screen that just stole everybody because everybody was saying, how is LeBron doing a podcast with his next coach? So they needed to throw some out there, whip that out there. Whoop, 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 whoop.
What if we would have took it? Then what happened?
We already knew he wasn't going to take it.
No, we didn't know because it was close. But this is the deal.
Who told you that?
This is the deal.
Was you in the room?
No, I was in the same room you was in.
Hey, did OJ kill that girl? You don't know.
Hey, see, I'm standing out that one, man.
You don't know. If you ain't there, you can't say what happened. We wasn't there.
You know, the court said this and that. But like I said, I just think that they could say they did their due diligence by, hey, we interviewed somebody else. But this is also last night. This was part of my argument was how come baseball, basketball, I can't talk about hockey, but baseball, basketball, when it comes to certain players, we have to have 15, when you look like me and you got to have 13 years in the minor leagues, grinding away before you get a job, you know what I mean? And, you have no coaching experience. No experience. Hey, the Guardians coach is doing a tremendous job, went straight from the playing field. I mean, it's amazing who they pick and why they pick and the terminology and the language, and we're going to get to something else about that when we get to the W. But it's amazing what qualifications matter and when they don't matter. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to understand, owners are older white men, okay?
I already understand that.
Some of them get their team get given to them by their fathers. And a lot of older white men want to sit at the table with a coach that they have something in common with. No owner wants to sit at the table with someone that they don't have anything in common with, man. And that's a big thing. Everybody say, why isn't it more minority coaches? Because a lot of those older white men don't have anything in common with this young black guy. And they ain't finna go and sit at no dinner and they don't have anything to talk about. But with Tom from Middle America, they have something to talk about than Rashid. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's always racial, but it is about comfortability. That's what it's about. I don't want to use the race. It's just they're more comfortable with someone that looks like them or thinks like them.
Well, like I said, I understand that, but I was just throwing it out there, like you being an ex-NFL guy, me being an ex-MLB. A lot of times people that are even more qualified than us, that even have put in the time, get overshadowed and overlooked. Because it just becomes, like you said, what they're comfortable with. Yeah. What term are we going to use for this one? And then what term are we going to use for this one? But when it comes, damn, he just took off his spikes last year, and next he's in the dugout.
But but the owner is what? Comfortable with him.
No, but and there's I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm just saying it's amazing the differences that happen. That's all, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying the differences are what we have to do to even get in that position to whatever. And like you said, man.
We almost have to sell our souls. It's almost just like this WNBA crap that's going on right now about Caitlyn. One lady, ESPN analyst, said, well, all these ladies that's been in the WNBA all these years, what do they have to do? Give their firstborn to Caitlyn for everybody to think that we respect her? Everybody respects what Caitlyn is doing for the W, okay? What she have done is brought different eyes to the W, and the different eyes is Middle America. Middle America wasn't watching WNBA basketball until Caitlyn, okay? So now we had the West Coast and the East Coast, they was there. Now we got this young white girl that played her behind off at Iowa that Middle America fell in love with. Middle America. Now, we were missing that part of the WNBA. Wonderful, we got it. But they shouldn't have to sell their souls to make her feel overly comfortable because she has brought a section of America into the W.
Hey, you know what? I agree. Like I said, there's the W's been
And it couldn't
going,
been put no better.
The W's been around for a long time. You know what I mean? The McGee twins. I mean, Cheryl Miller, Swoop,
Tina Thompson.
Tina Thompson. Yeah, I'm saying they paved the way for Caitlyn. You know what I mean?
Right.
But what Caitlyn's doing, hey, I'm a fan of Caitlyn. You know
Me
what I mean?
too. I like to see her shoot it.
Yeah, but if they thought she was going to dominate, you know, that was not going to happen. She's not strong enough. And she's still learning. But I think, you know, just like the Olympics, you know what I mean? It was a debate last night, and I said, three guys was like, I think they made the biggest mistake ever by not having Caitlyn on the Olympic team. I said, do you think she's one of the best 14 players in the WNBA? And they said, I don't know, but she's the face. So are we trying to win a gold medal, or is she the face? Because there's a lot of people that look like us that are good too, that they don't put extra benches on there because they're just good people. We're trying to win a gold medal. Because if America doesn't, anytime they don't win a gold medal, that is like taking your firstborn. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just amazing the fact that when you talk about certain things and certain people, how certain rules apply. You know what I mean? It's, Michael Jordan got his ass tore up every day his rookie year. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, all the rookies before Caitlyn, that's part of it.
Candace Parker I watched her get elbowed one time in the chest in L.A., and I said, if that was my sister, I'd have came on the stand and whooped that girl. But that's part of being, you was a rookie once before. You got through it by Nolan Ryan.
Oh, Nolan Ryan, them guys throwing at my head, didn't nobody in the stand say, hey,
I was a rookie.
That's wrong.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm a rookie. We playing against the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going against Jackie Slater. I make a move, and he trips me and dives right in my kidneys. And you know what he told me? Welcome to the NFL, rookie.
But see, that's the part. You know what? The average. The umpires do. You want to hear another crazy story? Because you're talking about. I was in the big leagues 8 years, 3 All-Star teams, got traded, woke up the next day. The umpires in spring training. You see them. The National League umpires. I went downstairs to wait for, the car to take me to the stadium. They said, "Welcome to the big leagues." So when people that don't really understand the situation, because it goes back to the participation trophy, you have to earn what you get. And everybody that thinks that they all jealous and hate Caitlyn, they don't. They don't. But Caitlyn has to go where she has to go.
She have to go through the gauntlet, man.
I have a question then.
Sure.
Bringing up cable numbers and like the live sports and everything still does well. Obviously.
Right.
That's what pays the cable bills essentially. But when you look at ESPN News, Fox News, when it comes to sports, they're only getting 30, 40,000 viewers on that. So when you say, the analysts and there's talking, that's almost to me like the kids on TikTok, doing something crazy just to get attention. Because no one's watching it anymore. So when they go after Caitlyn, do you think that's just them just trying to get viewers?
I really believe so. I believe so.
Well, you think, if you look at it, and like I said, what she did, all-time scorer. She put in the work. She did what she did, but that doesn't mean the rest of her life is going to be easy. Every game she plays is on TV now.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of my point, because the whole thing was like she's left out the Olympic team, and then like you said, they're bringing these things up. But it's like you said, it's like, hey, she doesn't deserve to be on the Olympic team first year in the league. She hasn't earned it yet, right? At that point, it shouldn't even be a story. It's kind of my point. No,
and that's the point. No one's talking about Angel Reese. No one's talking about any. They're not talking about Brink from LA, who's doing. They're not talking about anyone else. And it's not her fault. She just happens the golden child. She just happens to be the golden child that America fell in love with. She is our new. Hey, we get to root for somebody that looks like us. We see, she's all the, you know what I mean. And I'm happy because I have nieces. I mean, it's good for everyone. It's good for women. It's good for sports. It's good that women don't have to go overseas and they're able to play here, and we get to pay homage and respect them and see them play. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. But I think, like you said, America and the media and news outlets and debate teams and different outlets of sports, they're making it about Caitlyn. And it's not about Caitlyn. It's about, because it's not her fault.
You know what it's about? It's about America, man. America has always been divided, and it's always going to be divided.
Yeah, I think that was my point. I think the media is the division.
Yes, the media is, because the girls don't care.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The basketball players don't care.
America's actually not divided.
You know who else don't care? You know who else don't care? Yeah. Caitlyn don't care. Yeah, exactly. Caitlyn just want to be treated just like every other girl in the WNBA.
When you listen to her, her previous interviews and stuff like that, it was her dream as a kid, just like your dream was to play.
Yeah.
It was her dream to be in the WNBA.
Yeah, and she's doing it, man. But we got this small pack of people in the middle of America or somewhere in America that's saying, you guys should let her be what she want to be. Let her be free. My thing is, allow her just to play basketball and you guys enjoy her going through the gauntlet like you watched all the other players. She shouldn't have to jump and skip over everything. She shouldn't have to skip the line of getting elbowed or getting tripped or getting hazed as a rookie. All of us that come in a professional league get hazed as a rookie. Allow her to enjoy this, because a section of America is killing her rookie year, and that's supposed to be your fondest year. They killing her.
But I don't even think they're killing her. I think they're not making it about basketball. They're making it about something else.
They're making it about America.
They're making it about whatever it is that they want to make it about. They're making it about that. But like I said, I've seen her play. I've seen her. She's getting better. She looks like it's not as fast. She's starting to slow it down a little bit. But hey, in every other sport, you take any other sport in the world. Mm-hmm. When you are that first pick, unfortunately,
you're going to get it.
Stuff comes with it. And that's what she is dealing with. And like you said, I said, it's not the first time. Shaq had to go through it. Everybody has to go through it. It's just part of the business.
Imagine what Jordan would have had to go through the first few years if there would have been social media. Or even the scrutiny that Kobe went through his first few years. Airball Kobe, man. I remember those in that 96 season.
Hey, but
he tried it. He kept throwing them up. That's the thing, is the difference is you keep
But see, and it's not Caitlyn, like James said. It's not Kobe. It's not Michael. It's everybody has access to this now. Is making it a big deal. Mm-hmm. Because we had Sports Center, and you had, that was it. Local news. You know what I mean? Now you have every Tom, Dick, and Harry that, like us, that has an opinion. But you know what? That's okay too, because.
Yeah, but the difference is, these opinions are genuine. Like this, we're not telling you what to say. We don't tell you, James, what to say. The difference is that ESPN, I'm sorry to say,
they tell them what to say.
They tell them what to say, man. They're owned by Disney.
No. I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, if we didn't have all these outlets, it wouldn't be another story. It'd just be just like any other first round pick.
I'll tell you this:
if they go off of what?
If it was left up to Caitlyn, when the girl hip checked her, it wouldn't even been no problem with them too. They'd got to be like, okay, you got me, I got you next. I'll get you next. Now, Caitlyn bowled her. The girl gets her back. It wasn't a good play. It wasn't a good look. You know what I'm saying? But everybody in the WNBA knows the girl plays hard like that. She a rough rider. And this is just people that, and if nobody would have said anything, this would have moved on and they would have just kept playing basketball, because that's what athletes do. We just play our sport.
But circle back, it was gaslit because of all this right here. You know what I mean? Because if you didn't have all this, I mean, you hear it
80 times a day,
if not 1,000, by everyone that has an iPhone or something. And that's, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Hey man, didn't nobody feel sorry for me when I was picking my ass up off the ground and put my helmet back on with Nolan Ryan. You know,
That's what I'm saying. I
and
watched all those, like you watched that, the
Shit.
Bad Boys 30 for 30, and you see them just
kill Michael.
kill Michael, dude.
And you know what? Michael didn't bitch. Michael didn't complain.
In fact, he went back and got stronger. He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
so much different those years.
But Caitlin's gonna do the same thing.
Exactly.
You know what?
That's why I look forward to it.
You know what? She's a rookie right now. She has to go through what rookies go through. Next year, they're gonna be giving her love, and they're gonna be doing it to some other rookie. So
Right.
that's just the process.
Because she's trying to figure out the defenses in the pros. In college, most of the time they playing man or they playing a version of man with some type of zone behind it. Now in the W, they playing man, and these some big girls and they're strong. She's 22 years old going against grown women. That's why they don't allow, like in football, you have to be a certain age to play professional football because of the violence. The difference between a man and a boy. And in WNBA, it's a difference between a girl and a woman. It's a big difference. Now in basketball and in baseball, it's not a big difference due to, I would say, basketball men is more skillful. All right, they can jump. They do all this thing. But in women's basketball, they run a lot of picks. You can see their picks. You can watch them run their plays. You can actually see their plays. So when you got that difference in age and size in women's basketball, it's going to show. Not as much in men.
I agree, but it just shows you too. She's a gym rat, and as much as she was working on her gym stuff, she might not have been in the weight room working on. And some people mature at different ages because the rest of them girls, Cardoza and Brink, Cardoza's coming. I mean,
that's a little girl.
You look at Sabrina and all them. I mean, you look at the other girl that was on Caitlyn's team that's on, the Aces and all that. Hey man,
she ain't no little girl.
But Caitlyn ain't little. She just ain't strong as them.
I'm saying I shouldn't say little, but she's a little frailer than the girl that plays for the Aces.
No.
That girl got a little something to her.
No, but that's just like Wembley. He's gonna get stronger, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just all part of the journey, man. My favorite thing is just don't go straight to the end. Enjoy the journey. This is gonna make her better. It's gonna make hopefully. The world a better place to know that she wasn't being picked on. It's just part of the process. Michael, Magic, everyone goes through it. You know what I mean?
Well, what are your guys' advice
My advice for
for anyone coming into the leagues, like rookies?
Man.
You guys have played your careers, and if you could go back and give advice to the younger generations,
my advice
you
is
said it, enjoy the journey.
my advice is enjoy being a rookie because you're only going to be a rookie one time. Because after that, you're going to be a professional athlete. All right, from that moment on, because you only get to be a rookie one time, and you want to be able to have to bring the donuts. You want to have to go and get the older guys' shoulder pads and their helmets, because that makes you feel part of the team. It ain't that they don't like you. It's just tradition.
And to test what James said, you know what I mean? It's my advice would be a sponge. Don't come in there thinking you know everything and you're gonna, I tell people all the time, hey man, there's some bad boys that played all these leagues, and the sport does not stop. So as bad as you think you are, or you think they're gonna take all the balls away because you leave, they're not. So embrace it, be a sponge, learn, gather as much information as you can, and whatever you can take and help you, be a better athlete and person. Humanitarian, whatever it is, use that position and that platform to make this world, our community, a better place. You know what I mean? And that would be my advice. And don't get outworked. You know what I mean? But as far as because it changed from the time I came in. Hey man, if that beer can got to like a quarter full, I had to have another one, and we could not leave until all the beer was drunk up in the locker room. And towards the end of my career, I remember, and like I said, man, I was at Carl Crawford, Aubrey Huff. I mean, Pokey Reed. We have rookies, man. And sometimes you got to wear Hooter outfits. Hey, man, all the good ones, they put them on and they wear them. You want me to wear it tomorrow? They wear it tomorrow. This was the big leagues. This is part of being acceptance. You know what I mean? They're accepted because they bought into it. And then I had some friends players that, well, I did this back in Waco and I did this over here. But you ain't in Waco.
No.
And you know what? And you know, to be part of us, you have to go through the process. And they were always left on the island pretty soon. Corey, I remember Corey would come back, hey, where's such and such? He wasn't part of the process. They'll eliminate themselves. You know what I mean?
It's like when you're a rookie, man. I remember Chris Doman them. It's 10 minutes before time for us to go to meeting, and they slide me a letter that says, "Go get Dunkin' Donuts." I'm like, man, the meeting started in 10 minutes. You know what they told me? We don't give a damn. You better be back. So I got to jump in my car. So no, that ain't what happened. I went and told John Turling, which was our defensive line coach. I was like, Dolan didn't want me to go get donuts. He said, well, you better get to moving. So I had to go and get them donuts. I rolled back up in, running into the team meeting with 2 big old boxes of donuts and everybody laughing at me. Denny Green standing up there laughing at me and what's his name? Jeff Diamond standing there with a big sign saying, this is how much your fine is. I'm like, huh? I'm getting fined? But no, that was just part of the thing. Because you know what? The old head said, we're going to take care of the fine. They took care of the fine. It wasn't no fine. It was just they was trying to see, do I fit in? Because if I don't fit, if I bark back and be like, man, I ain't going to get nothing, I don't fit.
Well, isn't that too? It's part of the team. Because it's like, if they're going to trust you on the line, they got to trust you on the line.
There you go. Right? That's right.
Well, I don't understand why more people don't understand that.
And if I was Caitlyn's,
you worked your ass off to get to that point.
But you know why they don't? Because they're making it about themselves. See, that's and the mom and the dad, and it's never the teacher's fault. I mean, it's always the teacher's fault. It was always the coach's fault. Yeah. We're gonna switch teams. We're gonna go somewhere else because they didn't want to be told but anything they wanted to hear. And usually, a lot of those people don't make it.
That's right.
And then the ones that I've been around, because I have to say, in all fairness to professional sports, they do get a bad rap as far as I think 98.5% of the guys in all sports are great guys. Mm-hmm. Just that 2% of assholes that people reflect on. Because everybody, they're just down to earth good people. You know what I mean? But you have to understand though too, if you catch them on a bad day, where they just gave up a touchdown or I punched out 4 times and left a small subdivision on base, and you go out and you might not sign all the autographs, but you sign a couple, and I understand it's kids and it's that. I mean, you do the best you can. We're human too. You know what I mean? We're human. But as far as professional athletes, I think, hey man, like I said, 98% of them are good people. That 2%, they're not only 2% assholes to the public, they're 2% assholes to everyone. Their teammates.
Yeah.
And when they look back, I guarantee you, they wish they could do it over again.
And let me say this, and if I knew Caitlyn, I would say one thing for her to say to the media: can I just be a rookie? Leave me alone and allow me to be a rookie. That's all she need to say. And just allow the young lady to be a rookie. Let her get her bumps. Let her go get her donuts for the team. Let her go and get whoever on her team that's a senior member. Go pull my car around, man. And she'll feel so good about doing that, because you know why? She'll just feel like, I am part of the girls. I'm just one of the girls. But let me ball out like who I am. And that would take so much pressure off that young lady if they just let her be a rookie.
But I don't think it's the league or the team. It's the media which has.
That's what I'm talking to.
But the media has. But the media ain't in that locker room. The media is doing all this.
But no, she's gonna have a chance with that mic in her face.
But she says the right thing all the time.
Yeah, but I just want to be a rookie. Let me get my bumps.
Yeah, but still that doesn't sit well with that mid-America. That's the problem.
That's okay.
But I think.
But that'll take some licks off of her.
No, because she still have to earn those licks. You know that.
No, I ain't talking about licks from the players. I'm talking about licks from other media, certain media.
But you know what? I don't think that's going to change, because you know why? But that's not going to change because the media, whether it was Kobe, whether it's Shaq, whether it's somebody, you have to deal with being the first pick. She has to deal with all that. That just comes with it.
And
So
look, isn't it part of the cycle too? Because like you look right now, you're in the NBA finals and the NHL finals. Then you're just going to be in the dog days of MLB, right? And so it's like you need stuff to talk about.
hey, well, I'm going to W. I'm going to watch the Aces play tonight. You know what I mean?
That's my point.
But
So you got to build that up so that you have stuff to talk about.
but they deserve it. So I don't, Bill.
Why we
That's
can't,
going to be my question.
why we can't talk about Asia? Asia Wilson, how well is she's playing? She got 4,000 points faster than anybody else in WNBA history. Why come that's not a big story?
I think it is a big story. It is a big story. But I'm saying to people that are in the game and this and that, but it's not what corporate America wants to talk about. So there's a difference.
What they want to talk about?
Their girl.
They want to talk about. I'm going to be honest with you. The only thing they want to talk about is what's making the money. They don't care. They like the people that are really at the top of those corporations that are calling those shots. The reason that the executive producer and then the director below them are scrambling to find stories and stuff like that, because they're just trying to appease the machine to keep it rolling, to keep the money train flowing. Because the second the money is interrupted, that's when it gets rained down and shit upon, and then people get their jobs lost and stuff like that. That's really all it is. So, if there's more of a story there, then they would follow it if they thought that there was money in that story.
Yeah, but she gets her accolades, and like I said, and that was my point to the Olympics. Why are we gonna put somebody on the Olympic team that doesn't deserve to be on the Olympic team? If you're not the 14 best, then what's the problem? I want to be on the Olympic team, but if I'm not in baseball, one of the top 25, they're not gonna say, "Hey, nobody's getting mad."
How important do you think these Olympics are?
I think for the U.S. they're real important because I think we have to get back to dominance. I think the rest of the world has caught up to us, and we can say they have not, but proof's in the pudding. You know what I mean? They have caught up to us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the biggest thing I think is like less people watch the Olympics now here. That's a big one. So with less people watching, they don't put as much into it because I know they're talking about it right now with MLB. They're like, should they even field a team like a real American team right now? And it's like, what is your thoughts on that? Because so many players are from other places, and they play for their respective countries.
Well, they do. That's
Yeah.
just like we have, we have that tournament, and everyone goes and they play for Dominican or they play for Puerto Rico. The classic. It's hard in baseball to field an Olympic team because that's right in the middle of our season. You know what I'm saying? The classic is in spring training. You know what I mean?
I do. It's not good for baseball. The schedule.
No, the schedule is not cohesive for baseball. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I mean, will we ever get anything right?
I got something I want to bring back up.
Will everything ever be 100% solid?
No. I got something I want to go back to. Do you know that we don't have any rookies that's going to be on the men's basketball team? So why are we fighting so hard to have a rookie on our women's Olympic basketball team? And I get it. It's as all our people in media says, it's marketing. It's marketing. She's marketing. She's going to grow the WNBA.
Yeah, but I think you said it. It's marketing, right? So if now you all of a sudden have her on your Olympic team, like Caitlyn, now you're going to sell more Olympics.
I agree with you,
Right?
but I agree with you.
Okay, but then, hold on, G. But she's not going to play in front of none of those girls, okay? And then what the story going to be? Why did you put Caitlyn on the Olympic team and then give her no time? Why? Because she's not the top 14 or 30 even in her league.
Participation trophies ruin everything.
Everything.
You know what I mean? So, you know what? Let her go get strong in the weight room after her season's over, get ready for next year, and come back a better player like they do everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what? That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And you know what? And let's applaud those that are on this team and celebrate them.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate them who deserve to be on the team, who are on the team, and give them their just due. You know what I mean?
Those girls put a lot of work in, bro.
Everyone, but I'm just saying, we're always making it about somebody. Make it about the ones that deserve it, the ones that are on it, the ones that are running USA. And when Caitlyn has her chance, we'll do the same thing for her.
That's right.
But don't take anything away from these other girls. You know what I mean? Let them enjoy it, embrace it, and be done with it.
That's literally the point of the Olympics. Mm-hmm. National pride.
Do you know that the Chicago Sky have tripled their attendance and the price of their tickets due to what? Who you think? Angel Reese?
Don't forget the other one.
And Cadona, the big girl from South Carolina. She could play a behind dog.
Now.
Does this last? Though?
Yes.
My question.
Yes, it lasts.
But okay. Take away basketball. I'm watching soccer. There's more girls that look like us playing on the soccer. The best players look like us now. Dennis Rodman's daughter and the rest of them. Now let's go. Did anybody watch the women's softball? The World Series? Dude, it made me smile and happy that the teams are starting to look like society. Whatever that means. You know what I mean? And kids that look like us are evolving because the stigma, you have to do this, this, and that, they're not doing. They're doing all the things that they want to do because they're capable of doing anything they want to do. You know what I mean? They're playing lacrosse. They're playing soccer. They're running track. My daughter, she does equestrian, you know what I mean? With the top in the world.
Fencing, all the great things.
So it's just not about basketball. The world for women is getting better. It's not perfect yet, but it's definitely getting better. Mm-hmm. And that's all we can do, man. We just got to try to be better today than we were yesterday. And like I said, applaud the people that are doing their thing, but lift them all up.
Let's love on our U.S. women. Let's love on them, man.
Yeah, I just
love on them.
Like the Olympics just isn't the same. Like it feels like think about 20 years ago. It was like such a
huge thing.
It was so big.
I mean, I couldn't wait till the Olympics started.
Because there was only a few channels.
But you didn't have 247 channels and pay-per-view. Hey, man, Wild World of Sports, when he crashed on them skis, man, because I knew what was going to come on right after that, the song. Yep. That was my Sunday night.
That's right.
Wild World of Sports.
That's right.
Hey, that was Sunday night.
And I look forward to dun 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 dun. I remember I used to beg my mom just to let me stay up to watch the halftime highlights. I didn't care nothing about the second half of the game, but the first half of the game and get me to Howard Cosell and them halftime highlights, I was ready to go to bed Monday after that. I'm good.
Hey, man, I know I'm playing on the East Coast. I don't know how y'all ever watch a sport, man. The game started at 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, man. When I was playing on the East Coast, shit, time I get home, it'd be 11 o'clock, maybe in the second inning out west. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can never make it through a whole football game. And I can't watch football until 1 o'clock on the East Coast. First game's at 1 o'clock.
Well, you have to go to church, man.
Well, I go 8:30, man.
Gotta go to church.
8:30. 8:30. 8:30.
Get your church.
8:30. Oh, matter of fact, 8 o'clock.
At 12:35, the pastor say, "Oh, it's almost over. Time to get to football."
Hey, but man, them Baptist churches, though, man, growing up, dog. You in church from 8 to 4. You miss every game on the planet.
Mama, can we go home? I'm so sleepy.
We used to go to church, go home, eat, and go back to church. I was like, God.
You want to talk about Dave Parker? We should talk about Dave Parker.
Yeah, we got to talk about my man, Dave Parker.
Yeah, we really do. It's his birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
There you go. 2 days ago, right?
Yeah, happy belated birthday to my guy, Dave Parker.
Happy birthday, Dave.
What he meant for me, just being able to play for him. But like you said, man, growing up, he was an icon. He was up there with everybody. The first $1 million player. He's the baddest man on the planet for about 10 years. And once again, we're talking about baseball, right? Baseball player. 6'6", can fly. One of the best defenders, best arm. So when I say players, and we're going back about the NBA, there's scorers and then there's basketball players. You know what I mean? And I think Boston has more basketball players than Dallas. And going back to Dave Parker, he could do it all. And, they call him 5 tools. And he had all 5 of them. And The only thing missing from his resume, man, I mean, I don't have those stats in front of me right now. If you took those stats and didn't put a name on them, and the accomplishments that he did, there's a third that, if not more, his numbers are better than, and they're in the Hall of Fame. And that's the problem. Like J.O. said when he was talking, John, he says, hey, man, well, as a player, when you check all the boxes, he checked all the boxes. But it's unfortunate that, once again, everyone with a platform or that has a vote that maybe didn't like the way he dressed or what car he drove or who he married or whatever it is, I'm not voting for him. And that's a tragedy. And the thing what we do in America, especially our halls and
sacred places. Yeah.
Sacred places, special places for special people. We're waiting till they're gone before they get to. They don't. You know what I mean. They're always gone, and when they decide, oh, it's time. We play God. It's time now. They already. Whatever. I mean, who are we to sentence them? I mean, they didn't go to prison. They didn't go to. They should be in this sacred place with all the other sacred players.
Well, tell me this: Dave Parker was the first guy to make $1 million in baseball, right? That's weird to me that a guy that opened up the money flooding the money into the market of baseball, isn't in the Hall of Fame. That's a weird thing. So what's the disconnect? I don't know much about Dave Parker, nothing but that he was a great baseball player and he played for the Pirates, and I watched him. And I loved watching him because he was a big old man and he played baseball the way it's supposed to be played, because baseball is my first love. I love football, I like basketball, but baseball is my first love.
Well, you see, so
and he was big like me.
And the disconnect isn't with the game of baseball. The disconnect is with the people that vote on who gets in that sacred place. That's the disconnect.
Okay.
And those people that vote on that place didn't play baseball? They didn't play baseball?
That's the bigger question, is that, who should vote on the Hall of Fame?
I think the players, people that play against each other, they know. It's just like as a kid, and you going to the Little League team, and the coach is putting players in positions, and then you leave this one player out, and all the kids are looking like, what's wrong with him? But if you go and ask the kids, who's the better player in what position they need to play, the kids can fill your roster and put the players in the right places. You know why? Because those kids have played with them all this time, all the way before it got to be organized. And they know, and players know players. They know who's supposed to be there.
So, it goes back to that. It goes back to, now off the ballot, the special committee of all the other guys that are in the Hall of Fame are going to open it up because you have egotistical adults that want to prove important instead of doing the right thing.
Because I ain't kiss your behind.
Well, whatever the reason is, whatever their reason is, not doing the right thing. You know what I mean? You can't. It goes back to wrong is wrong, right is right, right? Right can't be wrong. Wrong can't be right because I say it is. It's either wrong or it's right. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And these people are saying, the man was the baddest man on the planet in baseball.
Yes, he was.
For a decade.
You're right. First $1 billion player, right?
Yeah.
He was a 7-time All-Star, 2-time batting champ. Come on.
Wow.
Dude,
Wow.
3-time Gold Glove, 2-time World Series with 2 different teams. Right?
Wow.
Which is very hard to do. 1978 MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Over 2,700 hits, 339 home runs, 290 lifetime batting average, 1,272 runs scored, and 1,493 RBIs.
Wow.
Those are just the off-the-top stats. And that holds up today. And he retired in 93.
And
over 30 years ago. You know what I mean?
And the crazy thing about it is?
And you're right. A lot of the people with those around those stats are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, man, it's...
Happy birthday.
He's more than, just a baseball player to me. Like I said, my brother, Gary Sheffield. And, I mean, remember, we were responsible. Remember, we absorbed as much as we could from him. He taught us how to be a pro. He taught us how to be along with Robin Yount and all those other guys, but we're talking about Dave Parker right here. And I guarantee you, Robin Yount and Paul Molitor and everybody else are saying, well, what's going on? This makes no sense. Mm-hmm. But see, we're talking.
And you're obviously you played with Robert Young. He's in the Hall of Fame.
And Paul Molitor. Paul Molitor. I played with Paul Molitor. Yeah. I played with Tony Gwynn. I played with Hall of Famers.
Yeah, look at Robin Young, 285 batting average, right? He's got over 3,000 hits, a little few more hits. He's got 251 home runs, almost 100 less home runs. He's got less runs batted in, and he's in the Hall of Fame.
And you know what? He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, too.
That's our point.
Yeah.
We're not taking away from the
No, we're not.
This is that we want to include.
Yeah. So we're going to make a push to get Cobra in the Hall of Fame. And I wasn't disagreeing with you, but I'm just saying, right is right, wrong is wrong. You just made my point to a T. And, once again, another dear friend of mine, man, Fred McGriff, he had to get off the ballot and had to get and get nominated, because the writers, but
he's like Sheffield, it's like a no-brainer.
But you know what it is? And we talk about my baby brother Gary. I mean, same thing. Man, right is right, wrong is wrong. But we're talking about who's not on the WNBA Olympic team.
Right.
We're talking about, she's getting fouled too hard.
Right.
But we're not talking about what's really going on because it's not important to them.
What I always say, America like to do what? Pick your heroes.
But
they want to pick your heroes. They try to pick your heroes.
But do you understand what I'm saying? So we're talking about a lot of other stuff. I mean, he has Parkinson's disease. I mean, and like I said, I hope when they do nominate him to get his yellow jacket, I know I'm going to go. I'm not missing that, but I hope he's here to at least to be able to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, Shep's going to have to go through the same thing, man. And who went in last year? Scott Rowland, Philly. Oh, Philly, you're from Philly.
Oh, he's St. Louis, bro.
That's it. Oh, yeah, well, he went to St. Yeah,
so he ain't Philly no more.
No, he's not Philly.
All
right.
right.
He's not Philly. He went St. Louis. But you know what? No one's taking anything from him.
No way.
No one's taking
everyone that's in there deserves it.
No,
the point is that you're excluding other people that also deserve to be in there.
But why? Yeah. So once again, man,
Crazy.
right is right, wrong is wrong. But it's funny, you know what I mean? It's like freedom of speech is freedom of speech until not for you guys, but for me.
But until.
Or you know what I mean? Freedom of choice. Oh,
Until.
Not for you, but for me. So once again, it's nothing new for us. We already know. We were raised that way. It doesn't surprise us, but we don't have to be happy about it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. We don't have to agree with it.
That's the beauty of America, really, is that we can all have that opinion and we have the freedom to.
You should have the freedom.
You should have the freedom.
It depends what channel you go to. You know what I mean? They got channels for you to speak. You got to speak on different channels.
You got a point. This is the real freedom here.
Hey, and like I said, it's crazy to me, man. That them stars, you're supposed to be able to express that anywhere you're at. Anywhere. And and it should not be a problem. And that comes to the next segment. The Negro League, you know what I mean? It was big. A couple of weeks ago, they announced that they're going to be,
This is huge.
included in MLB. One thing I respect about the NBA, they took the ABA and said, hey, we're doing it right now. Mm-hmm. And it goes back to my point that I made a second ago. There's not enough of them alive
To celebrate.
To see the difference and what, and the fight and the struggle to embrace it and celebrate it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got a chance to talk to a lot of them, during my career. Now, I don't want to say a lot, a few, more than a few, but the struggles. And I mean, man, Your teammates get to go in that restaurant. Man, I got to go eat in the back somewhere over there. I can't ride in the same train. I can't, all the fight they did, the sacrifices they went through for us to, I wouldn't be sitting here without them. You know what I mean? And 2024, man, we act like we did them a favor, and this ain't a favor. This is deserved. It should have been happened a long time ago.
What's right is right.
But, and even the Negro League Museum, with Bob over, Major League Baseball gave him a donation of $100,000. It's a bow tie, billion, and they gave him $100,000, man, to say, hey, here you go.
So it's basically saying 50 cent a man.
And you won't, like I said, you're going to hear from their families, you know what I mean, and DB, Dennis Beadle. You're going to hear from him. He's part of it. He's been fighting since 1940, 30 to get their pensions. And remember 2024, they had no pension. The family, they have nothing. And, America, baseball's thriving and this is that, and we're doing all these things. And the one thing about it is, when we always talk about great players and icons in sports, they're still talking about all the great Yankees and all the great, anything that comes up, they always talk about, which they deserve. But how come these guys don't deserve? How come we don't talk about any of them? You know what I mean? That's the point. How come we don't talk about any of these guys? And it goes again to, like, once again we're circling back to the W. They're talking about somebody that ain't played 20 games yet, but they deserve. And we're talking about lifetime sacrifices. We're talking about Dave Parker. He gave his heart and soul for every team he played for. And his numbers prove he's in the Hall of Fame. These guys, we just now started recognizing their numbers. Their numbers just got recognizable. Their numbers just now got recognizable.
And they had some numbers.
But they didn't even count. They did not count. And the pension, some of these guys are still alive and they're struggling. And you're talking about it's $1 billion industry. So when people say,
but baseball think they didn't play in the MLB. That's the thing. They said
recognizing those numbers.
But now by recognizing those numbers, you're saying they're a part of the MLB.
Yeah. But we all agree with that. That's like the ABA wasn't the NBA. But when they said, hey, we need Dr. J, we need all you guys to make this go.
AFL.
ABA is no longer NBA. And that's the same thing that should have happened here. You know what I mean? Instead, and like I said, man, I guess it's better than not celebrating them and being excited for. But when it comes to us, man, it always takes too long.
But baseball was America's pastime.
Yeah.
See, football and basketball was just a sport to America.
But once again, right is right, wrong is wrong. Yeah. I don't give a damn what sport, but and I appreciate what you're saying. But I'm saying right is right, wrong is wrong. These guys are gone. Buck O'Neil, man, we go to Kansas City and he be standing behind the cage, man, hear his stories, and going to that museum. You know what I mean? In Kansas City, the Negro League Museum. How could I ever complain about anything? Ever. You know what I mean? And, so, on one hand, I guess, at least they acknowledged it and allowed, part of that era. Did that era come?
Do you think they don't want you to struggle? They don't want the next generation to struggle. That's kind of the point. Like, you don't want the next generations to have it as bad off as you did, right? That's kind of the point, that we're doing. But the recognition is necessary for that.
Okay, but can
if you don't recognize it, then you can't appreciate where you're coming from.
But can you explain? We don't want who to struggle.
You don't want the next generations to struggle in the same ways that we did.
But
you did.
But what generation are you talking about? Are you talking about
I guess
are you talking about people? Or are you talking about ethnicity, or are you talking about? I don't understand.
Yeah, I guess it's a little vague. I guess it goes for everything because you're in any respected field. It doesn't matter what it is. There's always been gatekeepers for whatever it is.
And there always will be. What would be? That's not going to change.
But that can change.
How?
How can that change? Artificial intelligence. Because once that goes into being involved, it doesn't read color. It only goes off of what is right. Well, you said right and wrong, right? You type in this is right, this is wrong. So therefore, this person, like if we went into ChatGPT right now, and we typed in Dave Parker, and you said, should this person be in the Hall of Fame with his numbers, I guarantee you ChatGPT would say yes.
Okay, but you're talking about something that's, to me, not realistic, right? Because who owns these teams? Who's the chairman? Who's the president? Until we get people to care about people, not color.
Bingo.
People to care about people, and that's all walks of people. That's right and right.
But don't you think that people already do? I think that people already do. I think it's always a media sensation. Because obviously we're here. You know what I mean?
No. I think some people do, but do I think all people do? No. On each,
I'm talking on a majority.
No.
I don't think if majority of people aren't good, then
We didn't say good.
Okay.
You didn't say good, but I'm talking about all walks, race, and do I think people think it's equal? No.
Well, okay. So I'm saying, the Negro Leagues, right? Do you think that in your generation coming up, you don't think that those guys wanted you to go through the struggle and have to be play in a separate league and not,
Of course not. Of course.
That's my point.
Okay, the point is, you're absolutely right. They didn't want us to go through it.
Yeah. But you want to acknowledge, the point is you want to acknowledge the past so you don't forget it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like history in school. You know what? We take history. We don't have history. There's no history.
That's why we're doing it. That's literally my point. That was what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, we have no history in school because I remember, hey, man, I learned about everything. From Pearl Harbor to, every month, every week history is gone. You know what? Because they don't want strength come in numbers, and you don't want people to, learn that stuff at home. Do I think, definitely, these guys didn't want us to go through what we went through. But when I played, there was 5, 6, maybe sometimes 7, Cincinnati, 9 that looked like me, and it was amazing. Now, I went through 5 strikes for the game of baseball, but also for people to look like me, and now there's, 3% of African American? Some teams don't have one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And if they did have one, I wouldn't want to be that one. They'd be like playing when Jackie Robinson was playing. I shouldn't say that because people today are a little bit more diverse than that. But I'm just saying, but who do I go to? Who knows how I struggle or what happens in our neighborhoods, what foods we like to eat, where I go get my hair, how can I be familiar and comfortable? Where do I go to get that?
Yeah. I think it's like the whole thing where like the newer generations, let's just say rookies or whatever, people that are a few years in the league, let's just say mid-20s, people now. So the way they grew up is so diverse, right, that they're able to go to somebody with a color because they're not seeing the color there anymore.
No, I agree. And thank God that the young people, that they think the way they think. You know what I mean? I don't have to agree with it, but they stand on stuff that not necessarily the people before them stood on. You know what I mean?
Totally agree.
So that in that aspect, yes. But when we talk about real world and we're talking about bias and unbiased, you got to look at who's owning who's the boss man, the boss lady. Because you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the reason I mentioned artificial intelligence too is because again, that's going to make them the most money possible. So why wouldn't they want to implement that stuff? Again, like I said, it doesn't really matter if somebody, instead of paying 10 people to do a job, they can pay one person. Like they're going to pay one person to do the job because it's saving them 9 people's salaries.
Mm-hmm. But also, I think that's what HR is designed to do. But you know what I mean? It's just called a different word. But still, but still.
But hang on, HR, right? You just said HR, right? So aren't they the same thing? Because like I've been through this in our world. where it's like they're going to back their horse too, even HR. Somebody's a piece of crap on the team, but they're also the number 2 or number 1 player. Yeah, and then they're talking down to say the number 11 or whatever. Who are they going to back?
Well, I think nowadays, because of all this, it gets played out in the public eye. You know, it's a little bit different. But let me ask you this question.
Okay.
I'll ask James first. James, you own your own. Do you want someone to tell you who to hire? You own your own company. You hire where you want to hire, right?
Who I want to hire.
So that's And I'm
gonna hire who makes me comfortable.
and who you want.
That's right.
Yeah. So what we're saying is it fair? It's not unfair. Why should someone be able to be told who to hire? But hopefully, you think in 2024 that they would look at people as people instead of people based on the color of their skin. You know what I mean? That's, I think, the bottom line. And, like I say, hey, man, I love everybody. Yeah. I love everybody. Asshole's an asshole. I don't care what color he is. It don't matter. You know what I mean? Get a job, But do I think it's fair where everyone has the same opportunity to get jobs and pay the same pay? No. But, it goes back to, once again, we keep circling back to Caitlyn. How come the minimum salary wasn't important last year, the year before that, until Caitlyn came out? Oh, she's only going to make. What about all the other ones that didn't get it NIL money that weren't making $5-6 million a year?
Is that because she had more opportunity to make more money?
No.
Is that the reason they bring it up, though?
No, they bring it up because she is the golden one. So all the stuff that comes with it. They didn't say anything. Well, she's making way too much money in college, did they?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I didn't see that headline until Ice Cube offered $3 million.
No.
And people were like, "Oh, they looked into what WNBA players make," right?
Well,
Because the thing is, those offers hadn't been given to the previous players in the previous years.
No, they haven't. And she got her ass tore up over there in that league.
Oh,
She did the best thing for her. But I'm just saying, how come it wasn't important for the rest of the world that these other women were making $73,000? How come it's only important when one person, and that's
I think it's just the person that brings it to light. I think it would have been more of an issue if people would have known before. I don't think people knew. I had no idea how much they made.
I think people knew because it's public. It's public. People knew.
Records.
It just
didn't care.
They
They didn't care because they looked different than them. Now someone come in the league and they look like them and they like, whoa, we can't pay her this low. She can't make what they make.
Well, the league didn't say that. The public. But also too, it goes back to this. How many things are important to people that don't affect them? Nothing.
Exactly.
But now all of a sudden that 73,000 is very, very minute because why does somebody that I like or care about make that? So once again, what she's doing and everything all the girls are doing is great. I mean, I love it. They coming in, you get to see their fits, when they're walking in.
Oh, you look good.
Yeah, you know what I
Beautiful
mean?
young women.
It's about time. Everybody's going to benefit from, but bowing down and being thankful and oh my.
I'm gonna give you my firstborn.
You know what?
Here go my bank account
Because
number.
What Gino said, the coach to connect. This wasn't even the best class of WNBA women. But see, people don't want to hear the truth. He's keeping it real. Like I said, Sabrina.
I'm talking about the greatest women's basketball coach.
But and a shout out to Dawn Staley for what she's doing. You know what I mean? Because she is standing on her ground. You know what I mean? She's standing on facts, and she's not backing down, and she is doing what she feels she needs to do. And it's a privilege for me to be able to know her, in Sacramento. So it's good to see people do what they want to do and the right thing.
Can I ask you guys a question? Before Angel Reese did this, did any one of y'all know who Caitlyn Clark was? Before the hand here, did anybody in here know who Caitlyn Clark was?
I did, because she was throwing that thing up from the logo, dog.
Okay. Right. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know who she was. I wanted to know why are they tripping about this girl doing this. And then I figured out who she was.
Well,
but I know who Angel Reese was because she played for LSU and they was kicking behind.
No, I understand what you're saying. I didn't know her, but I knew her as a basketball player, not like what they making her out to be now.
Right.
Because she was averaging freaking 30 a game, so I knew her that way.
You know how many girls
but
that could shoot like that's not getting that same?
No, hey, same man, NFL players that aren't in the NFL, they didn't get a chance. Same man, baseball players, they get a chance. Same, all walks of life. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, they made Reese out to be the devil because when and Caitlyn pointed at the ring first, I think, and then when she did it back, that's it. You know what I mean?
That was it. Now we got it. Now we got what America like, good and evil. So now we got a good and we got an evil. So now,
Do you think it's good or evil?
that's how. Trust me, because the world thought that the young lady from Angel was just horrible for doing this, and she didn't even do it first.
But I guess where I was going with that is
They tore her
yeah,
behind up.
I just personally, somebody no skin in the game. I
Virtually.
carry it away. but like look at like Magic Bird, right? There was no good evil there.
No.
It's just a rivalry.
No, what it was what they needed. They needed the good white guy, the bad black guy, Boston.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Then old shiny LA.
The Lakers and the Magic were more.
But we ain't talking about the people that it matters to. We talking about this middle America bull crappers, the ones that want to kick up the dust. You got a certain amount of people that want to kick up the dust. They love to play people against each other, and especially when it's a black and white. They love to play that against each other. Just like they asked Magic, do you think that Reese and Clark is the new Bird and Magic? Yes, they are, because society needed that. Basketball, WNBA needed that. The NBA needed the good Bird and this Hollywood over-the-top black guy. They needed that to play to get ratings. It's the same way that they need Reese and Clark to get ratings. So they got to have a good and a bad. And for some reason, it's always going to be the other side, the black guy or the black lady, she got to be the villains.
I guess what I'm saying.
Because Magic was a villain.
As a devil's advocate, I don't think.
Trust me. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I was a young man at that age when Magic and Bird came in, and the thing was, you got this black guy out in Hollywood, and he just all over the place in cars, and then you got this hard-working white guy from Indiana that's in Boston, and they blue collar, and he busting his behind.
You know what? I never heard quite explained like that because we're all West Coast kids over here. Yeah. You know what? Magic was the flashy, showy. And
Yeah.
Bird was the
hard-working American.
But fundamentally sound. But the competition was good. But there's always going to be
The athletes didn't look at it like that, bro.
No, I'm
That
talking
was
about
just
society.
a society.
No, but like you said, you grew up in a different part of the country than I did. You know what I mean? But people, let me ask you a question. People are people. White, black, Asian,
Green, purple, whatever you want to be.
Yeah. Look what Otani, look show how he's doing for baseball. I mean, baseball's huge in Asia. But now, he's the forefront or the face of baseball over here, right? Now say Jeter, Jeter was a face for a long time because that's what they wanted him to be. But if you're talking about a sport that is like, you're talking about basketball. Basketball is supposed to be, we were supposed to be the guy, but now you got Pistol Pete and you got Larry Bird. You got people to contest us. They're gonna jump on that bandwagon all day long.
Yeah.
But then you have the African Americans. They're gonna be hell no. This is still us. So that's never gonna go away.
Yeah, but we know that.
I just want to give you the perspective coming from a kid that grew up in the 80s, 90s, watching that. Like, I never saw race at all. That's my point with that. I had Michael Jordan posters. I had Michael.
No,
Johnson
we're not
posters.
saying
No,
that.
what I'm saying is
It's
that
a-
like it was just a rivalry. You know what I mean? It was just the best two teams at those times, right?
Yeah.
And it just happened to be where they also played in the NCAA championship game against each other, and Magic won, so he had one up on there, and then all of a sudden he's in the NBA Finals his first year and wins it, and then it was like, oh, Bird's got to come back and win, and then he comes back and wins, and it was just like this back and forth, right? And then all of a sudden when that era is over, you have a couple years of the Bad Boys, and then it goes, it's out of face, and then it goes right into the Jordan era, which I don't
But by then basketball had got established against. You got to understand the NBA was on tape delay until Magic and Bird came along.
Oh, I'm aware of that.
And now you got segments of the population picking sides. All right? And that's what they want with Caitlyn and Reese. They want pick sides. Pick your side. Pick your side.
Well, I don't even think that they don't want to pick sides. You know what? We finally have a side to pick. That's what the other side, because, basketball is majority this.
Especially women basketball.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
But
anytime.
What about Stewie and them? Why come they didn't do that with Stewie and when Tarazi and them came out and with the other guys that came, those girls were great basketball players, man. But only thing that messed up everything is Reese screwed up the championship for Iowa and did this, and now we had to go and start picking sides.
Well, you don't have to pick nothing, but
Not
because
us.
because you I guarantee you, before she even did that, people that root for Iowa, and that team was rooting for Iowa before she did this.
Man, I ain't know who she was.
And LSU, they was rooting for LSU. It just, we are in an era, like you said, you're sitting here, that it comes to the forefront. Everyone gets to voice their opinion. You don't even need this. You just go like this.
Man, we're going to have a bunch of people.
You know what I mean?
We're going to have let me tell you something, man. We're going to have a bunch of people that tell lies and going to say that, oh, I knew Caitlyn was going to be the #1 overall pick way before that. No. You got these girls at LSU and South Carolina kicking butt.
Don't forget Stanford.
And Stanford. And then all of a sudden, this happened, the hand happened, and now America kicks in. Oh, now we're going to pick a side. Oh, because of this. Oh, because of this. If they don't do this to each other, I don't even believe she'd be the #1 pick overall.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't. But we're
Because
going to have people that say it and be like, yes, she would have. Because nobody even knew who she was.
No, they know you can't be the all-time scorer. But I'm saying this, Jen. They brought the hate, but they knew who she was. And you got to remember, who's picking #1? Now, if it was a different team picking #1, like the Sparks or out this way or something, probably not.
Angel Reese was a baller.
No.
She was a great basketball player until she did this.
She did.
Then she became a villain. Angel Reese was the name that was ringing in everybody's mouth until she did this. I don't care what nobody say. They can sit up and say, Caitlyn. Before this, only name you heard in college basketball was South Carolina and that girl that's at LSU. That's all you heard.
I heard Brink and the other girl, but that ACL.
But I'm talking about the names that was just killing.
Because they were winning. But
because they was winning.
But to me, the other girl on her team that just transferred out of Iowa, she the killer, and she ain't gonna be there her senior year. She's the killer. I don't know what school she's going to, but the forward that was at Iowa.
She transferred to Geno.
Oh my God, she's a killer.
She transferred to Geno.
Killer.
But I think you said it right, Greg. It's the thing is that like people,
Hey, dude, come on, man.
people want to root for who they
Man,
want.
look at my team. Look at my Kings. Sacramento Kings. We had the first round pick. Who's the best player in the country? Who's our first pick? No, not his fault. Joe Klein. Depends where you are, what your geographic is, what you like. I agree with. I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying, but I'm just saying, Larry Bird wouldn't have did like Magic in L.A. Magic was set for L.A. with the Showtime and all that. So I think you have to have, you have to be drafted like you said, when you went to the Vikings, you know what? That was the perfect place for you at that time because, like, you had Doe and Denny and all those guys. I don't matter. It doesn't matter. Did I think she was the best player in college? No, but Indiana and the most hype. That's where she was going, man.
Honestly, I always think when it comes to these things, just being in the media and working in this field, it's just that they need rivalries, no matter what it is. And like when you have eras like that, we were talking about Magic and Bird, they needed each other to get it.
And those are good rivalries, but don't make it a racial thing.
I don't think it is.
Some people are, man. People are. And anytime that the other person is getting death threats, that's racial. That's racial.
Yeah, but
Because ain't no black people sending Caitlyn, none, we gonna kill you for this. But why come in? It ain't getting publicized.
Well, that's the point. That's the point.
Because it ain't
The
happening.
media wants to. It's that they just.
Hey, man,
It's not happening. But these other girls, Angel Reese was getting threats. The girl that just bumped her was getting threats. They had to put extra security around her. Come on, man. Let's don't be talking crazy about it. If we gonna talk business, we gonna talk business. Stand on business, as the youngsters say.
Well, I guess my point is like, dude, fucking Samuel Jackson said, or is it Samuel Jackson? Morgan Freeman said it best. He's like, the second you stop talking about this shit is when it goes away.
Right.
Right? So the fact that the media keeps bringing it up, and then we like,
Just brought it up.
always keep bringing it up and like respond about those things.
I'm not talking about it no more.
Yeah. No, that's really what it is. Like I said, dude, my generation, dude, we got rid of it. Like we really did.
Yeah.
It started coming back up in media and shit like that, especially around 9/11 when everyone was joining the military again because they knew they couldn't draft people. And I don't know any minorities that were going to go fight a war at that point, right?
Right.
Why would you? You're not respected for it. Like, yeah. It's not like, again, you said it, those stars, those stripes, like, they're supposed to be for everybody, but they're not, right? But they're really not.
See, that's real talk.
They-
See, that is.
Yes, exactly.
You know what, and
But my point is that they brought it back.
Right.
It got, like, dude, it was stomped, dude. I'm 38. I just turned 38.
Mm-hmm.
It was stomped, dude. I have so many. We never talked about it.
Let me.
One time growing up.
Let-
My
let-
favorite players were you guys. Like, I had no idea that you guys were different than me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Until I was an adult.
But the bottom line is, like you said, James, I don't know. Do you know any white or Caucasian or a person that doesn't like us that black people ever sent death threats to?
I don't know any.
So I'm saying, so why would it be different this time? Anytime that, African American or someone gets close that doesn't look like them to break a record, you go back to Hank Aaron. They didn't want Hank to break Babe's record.
Yeah.
So
Those threats are real. I wasn't saying. I'm saying nowadays, I think a lot of these ones are trolls. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But it's like they're not. There's
Small
not
population.
But I'm saying even the media, because you said it. You said it about OJ earlier. It's like you're not there. We don't know the real facts.
No, but still,
Like anybody can, dude. I can go on here right now, make a fake email address, send you a
Right.
okay, but see,
and it has nothing to do with any.
But that's what we said. It's a smaller part of America.
But it doesn't make it right. But so, and every threat has to be taken seriously. So whoever makes that fake account, it doesn't. Hey, man. Don't come back and tell me, oh, he didn't mean it.
Oh, I was joking. No,
Shit.
you're not joking.
But all these people, you also have to understand, they would never say these things to anybody's faces, and that's where the internet and social media and all this thing has people have people are fucking 7'4", 400 pounds, like knocking through the wall. Mike Tyson.
Yeah, behind the internet, right?
They're not like that, and
Right.
they would never say these things, and they might not even say those things. They
Right.
would just say, again, it's just could be just. It's just trolling.
But if
It could even be Russian too.
if that was your daughter and somebody sent her a death threat, when you take it serious,
Yeah, no one's
you have to take it serious. That's all I'm saying. You have to take it serious, man. And it's just a small portion of America that's doing it. It's some troll person that don't understand that this is just a sporting event.
I know.
That's
even-
all. It's
I
a
even
sporting
know
event.
People in the media that would do something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they would send a fucking death threat to start a story. That's my point.
But the point
Sucks. That sucks.
That's my point. If your job depends on, think about this. Like I just told you, 30,000 people a night are watching SportsCenter. You don't think, how many people you know from SportsCenter and ESPN has been fired in the last 5 years, laid off, whatever. You got CNN anchors, you got Fox News, you got all these things, right? You don't think they need their next story,
big story, right?
Whatever it is to get, and if they're the lead on that, you don't think that
No.
stuff like that?
Let me ask you a question. Because, all of us know Mitchell, he's one of the nicest.
Yeah.
And he thinks he sees the good and sees everything. But does good sell?
So I don't think they've given it a chance to sell.
No, I agree. But okay.
They had it before when it was like you said. Now that's where race play comes into play. Because when you're looking at, you said it, the Yankees. Let's talk about the old Yankees. The Murderers Row and all this. When it was an all-white team, that was good, right? Everything was good. They're not talking about the bad, whoever they're playing, the Black Sox scandal or whatever, all that stuff. But for the most part, you're talking about good. It's only the second you mix everything together where you have more bad. When it comes to that's the news. It bleeds, it leads. It used to just say the news.
Okay, I respect your perspective. A little boy, I don't know what it is. I learned it early, but I knew fair and right and wrong is wrong is everyone's own personal perspective,
Right.
and a lot of it what benefits them. But I see. We used to check out the grocery stores. Before Instacart. I'm talking way back. I'm talking for us, like in our, midlife. When we used to go to grocery stores.
With no cameras.
And the magazines was right by the checkout stand. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a broke person on them in those magazines. It was always rich people, actors, actresses, singers, queens, kings, and not one of them. All of it was every once in a while you had somebody getting an award or something. But divorce, drug overdose, murder, controversy. He says this, she said that. Unfortunately, we're in a society that.
Like controversy.
Yeah, but you know when that happened though? That was happened with the 24-hour news cycle. That's explained in our, in our world. The 24-hour news cycle, they needed more news because it used to just be you watch your local news at the end of the.
Okay, but I just know that. I just know them. Those magazines.
Those terms. It bleeds. It leads.
No. I believe
I
that.
didn't make that up. That's before my time.
No, but I believe that. But I'm saying before that 24-hour news cycle, the magazines was there. And they would sell out every goddamn day. You know what I mean? And it was on the coffee table. And last thing you're like, damn, you just got groceries. Now next thing you got 4 magazines, because, and we weren't looking to see the good stories. What did they say about him?
Yeah.
Who said that?
Let me get
There
that.
was no internet to go to. So controversy's been selling for a long time.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's been proven. I mean, this is an out there topic, but like it's been proven, like in our DNA, that we like to socialize like that. It has to do with it goes far back. Probably when we were hunter-gatherers and the men were out hunting and then the women were talking, like socializing. No joke. They've proven that.
Hey, don't be that place kicker on Kansas City right now talking about women. We were hunting and they were weaving baskets.
That was an idiot. He's an idiot.
Again, I was raised by women that work. You know what I mean? I'm sure you were.
Me too.
That's what I'm saying. So it is, again, that's media trying to bring things up and almost villainize you for having a perspective that's not
You know what's funny? You know what I'm noticing more and more? I love Josh. You know what it is? Josh is like that. He's like our kid too. You know what I mean? Because he's young enough that he's gonna. He's
teaching us.
Yeah,
he's teaching us what we should know.
What that generation is thinking and what they're talking about and how they feel. But he's articulate enough to voice it in a matter that we understand it. You know what I mean?
I also question him learning from you guys. I really am.
No, I just gave you a compliment. I gave you a compliment.
I know. I did. I said the compliment.
You are a
It's
breath
hard
of
to
fresh
set
air.
compliments, Well, the thing is that it's like this is how we learn. This is how anybody. I'm learning too. You're learning. Like you said it to me on the first day. It's like you should never stop learning.
If you stop learning,
You're dead.
if you're willing and think you know it all, go ahead and dig that grave and jump in it. Because first of all, you're gonna be an asshole to be around.
You're gonna have no friends.
And zero. Zero. And if you hang around somebody who wants to tell you everything you want to hear, and you got all the answers, and you know this and that, woo, that's a lot of work.
Well, it's also that like you said, that perspective thing. It's like I am questioning why it's gone back, like why we've gone back as a country, why we've gone back, and all respect.
Hey, me and you was thinking the same thing, but we can't say it. But trust me, I know what. When we get off this air, I'll tell you.
You wouldn't even believe my mom is my mom. She was
Right.
white with blue eyes. But my dad is literally like from the jungle. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he didn't come here till he was almost 30 years old, and somehow they managed to become a family. There's no, you know what I mean? Like, and again, all my cousins were all different ethnicities. They like my mom has four sisters. They all married.
But you only accepted him like.
So my mom never understood when I would get racially profiled and stuff like that because she didn't see me as something. That's kind of
Well, especially it's yours. But then it goes back to like James said, the different regions where you come from, who you grew up with. You go to Chris, you go to Philly, Jersey. I mean, everybody. You have the rich areas, the not so rich, but you see everybody. It doesn't mean everybody gets down with everybody, but at least you know how to deal with
and
them.
when you have to interact with people of different ethnicities all the time, you're going to be a better person because you don't.
Yeah.
Well, first you're not to get fucked up by that dude. Like, I'm not gonna mess with that.
Well, be an idiot to say that and say that right in front.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. There's some black people I don't want to be bothered with.
Yeah, because I'm saying
You know what I mean?
racism comes in all forms of
Hey,
colors,
man.
Hey, dude,
But-
Asians are very racist against other Asians too.
But I'm not-
Black people are
but-
very racist against each other,
But
too.
I'm gonna tell you something. I mean, my great grandfather's Irish man, blonde hair, blue eyes. Married a sister back then. You think I could never have as tough as either one of them had.
Oh my God, back then
Yeah.
it was illegal for them to even be together.
He came out west.
Yeah, no, that's very true. I mean, you know this about like what's his name, the boxer. Like, there's those cool stories about him because he always dated white women. The champion, what's his name?
Jack
Boom.
Johnson. Jack Johnson.
Johnson, right? And the whole thing about him traveling through the South with with his white girlfriend and how you get a ticket and he just gives them the money for the ticket on the way back. Because he knew he was going to come back the other way. He's like, here's the money for the way back too, because he knew.
But he knew because he was a champion. Exactly. Yeah. Now if that would have been Ricky.
They're gonna fire him. They're gonna fire him up.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
You
But that's the whole point of this show is like getting the different perspectives and getting
It don't mean no harm.
It's no harm. And the thing is that, hey man, we're as diverse as it gets. You know what I mean? So,
Sure. But we haven't even got Angry Man on the microphone yet. Chris over there.
it's 4 weeks off the mic. He's got to
Yeah, you gotta let him warm up. Hey, we want to keep our show a little longer before we put his ass on. Phillies in the house, and they winning too. What? You know it. But hey, man. But with our show, man, we always end with one great thing. We are a show that break chains and build dreams. God bless you all for tuning in.
Thank you. Can't wait till next time. Like I said, it's gonna be a special, show for me because, I mean, DB, Dennis Biddle, he's gonna be able to tell his story of what they went through. You know what I mean? And it might be part 1 and part 2 because, and maybe you know what, this is gonna be a good chance for us just to sit back and take it in. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And I know this man.
I can't wait.
And I'm honored that he's willing to share with us. You know what I mean? So next week is going to be special.
I love it.
All right. Till then.
Hashtag Dave Parker Hall of Fame.
Hey, hashtag Dave Parker Hall of Fame. Hashtag Negro League Baseball.
There you go, right there. All right, guys.
And we out.